He came home early, but his daughter wasn't there. The front door opened at 6:17 in the morning. Megan froze. She had been expecting the sound of the washing machine, maybe the coffee maker, maybe her 7-year-old daughter Lily running down the hallway. But instead, she heard a man's voice, a voice she hadn't heard inside that house for almost 11 months. "Hey, sweetheart." Megan slowly turned around. Her coffee cup slipped from her hand and shattered on the kitchen floor. Standing in the doorway was her husband, Daniel, still wearing his U.S. Army uniform, still carrying the worn duffel bag he had taken with him when he left. He was home. But Daniel wasn't smiling. He looked at his wife and asked the one question that immediately made her heart sink. "Where's Lily?" Megan couldn't answer. She just stared at him, because Daniel was supposed to come home 3 weeks later, and their daughter had been waiting for him every single day. Daniel had been deployed overseas for nearly 11 months. Before leaving, he promised Lily something simple. "I'll be home before your birthday." Lily believed him. She believed everything her father told her. On the morning Daniel left, she had followed him all the way to the driveway wearing pink pajamas and holding the small stuffed rabbit he had given her. "Daddy?" Daniel had stopped beside the car. "What?" "Don't forget me." Those 4 words had stayed in his mind through every long night away from home. Daniel smiled, crouched down and hugged her. "Never." Lily held him tightly. "Promise?" "I promise." Then he left, and the house became strangely quiet. At first, Daniel called almost every evening. Sometimes the connection was perfect. Sometimes it froze. Sometimes he only had a few minutes. But Lily didn't care, y'all. She would sit in front of the phone and tell him everything. "Daddy, I got an A on my spelling test." "Daddy, Mom burned the pancakes." "Daddy, my teacher says I'm getting better at reading." And sometimes she would simply stare at the screen. Daniel would ask, "What's wrong, Bug?" "Nothing." "You sure?" "Yeah." But he knew. She missed him, and he missed her more than he could explain. One night, Lily asked him something that made Daniel look away from the camera. "Daddy, are you coming home for my birthday?" Daniel paused. "I'll try my best." "You promised." "I know. I really need you there." Daniel swallowed hard. "I know, baby." That night, after the call ended, Daniel sat alone for several minutes. He looked at the tiny photo of Lily taped inside his locker. Then he whispered, "I'll make it home." 3 weeks before his scheduled return, Daniel received unexpected news. His unit's return schedule had changed. He would be coming home early. He couldn't tell his family. For security and logistical reasons, he wasn't supposed to announce the exact timing. But Daniel immediately knew what he wanted to do. He wanted to surprise Lily. He called Megan through the approved channel and told her only that everything was okay. Megan didn't know he was already preparing to leave. The next few days felt endless. Daniel traveled for hours. He barely slept. He kept looking at the photo of Lily. Every time he felt exhausted, he remembered her voice. "Don't forget me." Finally, after months of waiting, Daniel arrived home. But he didn't go straight to his daughter's school. He wanted to see her at home first. He wanted the moment to be quiet, private, just their family. That was why he opened the front door at 6:17 that morning. And that's why he asked Megan, "Where's Lily?" Megan wiped her tears. "She isn't here." Daniel's face changed. "Where is she?" "She went to school early." Daniel looked at the clock, then at Megan. "Today?" "Yes." Daniel smiled faintly. "Then I know where I'm going." At 8:05 that morning, Lily was sitting in her classroom. She was working on a drawing. Her teacher walked over and placed a hand on her desk. "Lily, there's someone here to see you." Lily looked up. "Who?" "I think you should come with me." Lily slowly followed her into the hallway. She expected her mother, maybe the school principal, maybe another teacher. Then she heard footsteps. Someone was standing at the end of the hallway. A man in an army uniform. Lily stopped. She stared. The man didn't move. He simply opened his arms. Lily's eyes widened. Her mouth dropped open. "Daddy?" Daniel smiled. "Hey, Bug." For 1 second, Lily didn't move. Then she ran. She ran as fast as she could. Daniel dropped to his knees just before she reached him. Lily jumped into his arms. She wrapped both arms around his neck and started crying. "You came home." Daniel held her tightly. "I told you I would." "You said 3 weeks." "I know." "You lied." Daniel laughed through his tears. "I know." Lily pulled back and looked at his face. "Are you really staying?" Daniel nodded. I'm staying. She hugged him again. This time, she didn't say anything. Neither did he. They just stood there, holding each other. Later that afternoon, Daniel took Lily to a small park near their house. They sat on a bench. Lily kept looking at him. Daniel smiled. What? I'm making sure you're real. He laughed. I'm real. She touched his arm. You look different. Different how? More tired. Daniel smiled. Maybe a little. Lily leaned against his shoulder. Did you miss me? Daniel looked at her. Every single day. She was quiet for a moment. Even when you were busy? Especially when I was busy. Why? Because that's when I needed to remember what I was coming home to. Lily smiled. Then she reached into her backpack and pulled out a folded piece of paper. I made this for you. Daniel opened it. It was a drawing of their family. 3 people standing together in front of their house. Above them was a bright yellow sun. Daniel stared at it for a long time. You kept this? I made it last week. He looked at the picture again. Then he noticed something. There was a small empty space beside the house. What is this? Lily pointed at it. That's where I was going to draw you. Daniel smiled. You hadn't drawn me yet? I was waiting until you came home. Daniel looked down. For a moment, he couldn't speak. Then he pulled his daughter close. You can draw me now. That evening, the 3 of them ate dinner together. Nothing fancy, just pizza, salad, and Lily's favorite chocolate milk. But to Daniel, it was better than any meal he had eaten in months. Lily talked nonstop. She told him about school, her friends, her teacher, a boy who had fallen asleep during class, a science project, everything. Daniel listened. He didn't want to miss a single word. After dinner, Lily asked him to help with her homework. Daniel sat beside her at the kitchen table. She pushed her notebook toward him. Dad, help me. Daniel looked at the math problem. I have no idea. Lily laughed. You're supposed to be smart. I've been away too long. She smiled. It's okay. I'll teach you. Megan stood in the doorway watching them. For months she had imagined this moment. But the reality was different. Better. Her husband was sitting at the table. Her daughter was laughing. And for the first time in almost a year, the house sounded like home again. That night, Daniel tucked Lily into bed. She held his hand. Daddy? Yeah? Are you leaving tomorrow? Daniel sat beside her. No. Promise? He smiled. Promise. She thought for a moment. Can you stay until I fall asleep? Daniel nodded. Of course. Lily closed her eyes. A few minutes later, she was asleep. Daniel remained beside her. He looked at the little girl who had grown so much while he was away. Then he noticed the stuffed rabbit beside her pillow. The same rabbit she had been holding the morning he left. Daniel gently picked it up. He smiled. Then he whispered, You remembered me. From the doorway, Megan quietly watched him. Daniel looked up. Neither of them said anything. Megan simply walked over and hugged him. After a long moment, she whispered, Welcome home. Daniel closed his eyes. I missed this. I know. No, he said softly. I missed all of this. He looked toward Lily, the small bedroom, the family photos on the wall, the ordinary life he had once taken for granted. Then he understood something. Coming home wasn't about walking through a door. It wasn't about the uniform. It wasn't about the welcome. It was about hearing the people you love breathing in the next room. It was about knowing they were safe. It was about getting another chance to be there for the little moments, the bedtime stories, the school mornings, the messy breakfast, the homework, the arguments, the laughter, the ordinary days. Because when you're far away from home, you learn something very quickly. You don't miss the big things, you miss the small things. And that night, Daniel finally had them back. Before turning off the light, he looked once more at his sleeping daughter. Then he whispered the same words he had told her almost a year ago. Daddy didn't forget you. And for the first time in 11 months, Lily slept, knowing he was right there.